Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. Today I have with me a very special guest here today, which is Mr. Rahul George, who has been a close friend of mine, who has been an academy student of so many of our programs, a huge success story of our academy. And now Rahul is also leading many of our students into deeper manifestation, deeper healing processes using NLP and hypnosis. So today it's going to give us an experience of us in the team, Synchro Shakti team, and you guys an experience of deepening your alignment in your manifestation journey. So thank you so much, Rahul, and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for really acknowledging me and giving me this space. And I've said this before when we were in the live group that we did, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say it again, especially for those of you out there, you're watching this right now and you're wondering, can dreams come true? Do they come true? The fact is that they do. And I had this very idea in my mind. I saw this, literally, it was like a flash of me being here like this, in uh, working with Kartika and, being here with Kartika's team. And here I am. So if you've ever had like a crazy dream, you're on the right track. Okay, so let me kind of start you off, the viewer of who's watching this right now, those of you who are watching this, remember whenever I'm talking to, let's say, one of the folks here on this call, or it may be two, or maybe even three, uh, just imagine as if I'm actually talking to you. So if I'm asking one of them a question, I'm actually asking you that question. And the beautiful part of doing this as a recording is that you can pause, right? Because you're watching it in the comfort of your home, or at least at your pace. So pause and answer that question and then continue. So having said that, we're going to switch gears. Uh, if I was to say, okay, so Kartika, what's this one thing that you want to manifest? Um, it could be immediately, it could be this year.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just to put this into context, you could think it or you could say it. To me,
Mm-hmm.
it's secondary. It's more about you just kind of tapping
Mm-hmm.
into you need that. Yeah. So take your time.
Yeah, I know what I want to manifest. I'm thinking it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Shruti, and again, the same sort of frame applies. You could say it out loud, or you could, think about it. What's this one thing that you want to manifest?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Okay,
about it.
perfect. Okay, and again, no pressure. Okay, that's the, if you ask me, that's the most important thing about manifesting, about really being able to tap into our higher selves, our deeper selves. It's without pressure. That's when magic really happens. And I'm not just saying this, I'm sure you all experienced it in your own lives. The moment you let go, the moment you take pressure out of the equation, it's just like it literally just kind of comes, right? So, Yasmin, whenever you're ready, think of this one thing that you want to manifest right now.
I'm ready.
Mm.
Okay. So for those of you who are watching this live, meaning that you're watching this as a recording, keep this in mind that obviously you're doing this in the privacy of your own mind, or you could even write it out because the format's a little different. This is live. We are live here, all of us together during the recording. You'll be obviously doing this, in your time. So make sure to pause and to actually think about it, connect with it. If you notice, each one of them kind of changed their expression changed when they were thinking about it, right? So I'm going to sort of lead from there. So take a moment, each of you, and think about that thing that you really want to manifest. Okay. And as you're doing this, I'd like you to notice, where are you that's manifesting? And all that you're doing is just being aware. You may start within it, or beside it, in front or behind it, above or below it. All that you're doing is just being aware. That's manifest it. And for the next couple of moments, all that you're doing is being, all that you're doing is being aware, like this. And when you're ready, you can slowly start to drift up, knowing that this is just the beginning, and that every time when you connect back in, you will start to notice, you'll start to hear and feel here that manifests in ways that are beyond your knowing. You might notice this in people that you come across. You might hear it in words that drift on by when your eyes are closed, or as you open your eyes. So notice in a moment as your eyes slowly start to open again, naturally. And then we'll chat for a bit. And it's an opportunity to go back in again and deepen this process. So if you find your eyes opening now for a moment, that's totally fine. That is part of the process. So I'll ask one by one each of you a couple of questions and then go back in again. So would you say, like when you saw the manifestation or the manifest, was it, were you in it or did you see yourself it?
So it's a scene that was happening. So I
Yeah.
was like watching the scene happening. So I
Nice.
was it was in front of me. So I was in front of it. And then when you said to zoom out a little bit to kind of rise above, I moved up and I saw that as more of a past event that already happened.
Nice.
And it became like and I could, when you said, it manifests as people and as sounds that you hear, and so I heard all these
Yeah.
conversations and
Beautiful.
people asking and all of these things, and then I saw this, I was like above it at some point because I kind of levitated higher than that, so that was where I was. But also
Nice.
there was it became very like it was a memory of something that happened, kind of a feeling.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful. Yes, Shruti.
Yeah, so for me, I felt I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Things were happening to me, for me. And then when you asked us to like zoom out a bit, I could see things happening. I could see things happening. I was
Nice.
standing afar and I could see the happy faces. I could hear them talk. And I could actually feel it in my bones, like, yeah, I am happy.
Mm.
I could feel that sensation. So yeah.
Awesome. 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 Yes, Yasmin. Where was this in connection with you?
So yeah, I was in the scene first, and then the thing had already manifested, and then when I zoomed out, I could see my children celebrating it, and
Beautiful.
that's it. That's what I saw.
Right.
Because when I see my children doing it, it gives me a lot of joy. So it naturally came out that way.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Awesome. So we've got what I guess you could call, for the purpose of, this experience. So I create what I call I hypnosis experiences. So this is, sort of like the foundation level of that experience, and we'll build on this. Okay. So you've got your foundation. Each of you has your own. There are something similar, and yet there are some things that are completely unique to each of you, right? So whenever you're ready, you can again take a nice, relaxing, deep breath, and just as you exhale, as you let go, knowing from your own experience that this had already happened. You might ask yourself a question now: who am I being that had experiences like this, having already had one, and within them many? Who am I being? That's this. And so I'll be silent for a few as you just allow your unconscious mind and connecting like this in stillness. And you'll know in a moment, having already discovered so much, this is an invitation for you to take this energy, almost like the lightness of angels. Take this fairy dust and just sprinkle it all over, from this moment to the past that's present, and then to the past that has already passed, all the way to that one moment when you were that one single entity that became human, one cell divided into two, and two times two, and it just grew into all of who you are. But having this energy like this, as you let yourself grow all the way to the present, and knowing that this is just the beginning, and every time when you drift in this state of the unconscious, your mind, it's another opportunity for you to tap into your greatness, your magic. So take all the time that you need, and only when you're ready, you'll find yourself slowly starting to drift up. And take all the time that you need. As you continue to integrate all these feelings and experiences, knowing that this is just the beginning. And at the right moment, you'll start to notice your eyes slowly starting to drift into a more open state. That's it. And once you're back and you're present here, you can take a moment if you want to make a note of maybe something you came across. Could be a word, could be something that means what it means to you.
Do we need to write down the word?
Sure. This is for your reference, so
Uh-huh.
you can make a note of it.
I did get a really awesome word.
And once that's done, then, so take your time.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So we'll now switch gears.
Mm.
Of course, this is a mini version of what we do. So I am being mindful of the time. And this is the part where we start to take what we experience and bring it more into this world. Because otherwise, what can happen a lot of times, especially when you are, let's say, tapping into tools like hypnosis and NLP, a lot of times these experiences become hard to translate. So you know you had an experience, but it's hard to translate into this world, right? So this is that part where we kind of start to bring it together. So one of the questions would be to each of you, uh, in terms of it could be process or the experience itself. If you have a question, like you're like, okay, I kind of got it, but I'm not sure. This is that part, or this is that point where you can ask the question.
Mm.
It could be process, which means like it's a recipe. So what were the steps? Because I think I did it, but I'm not very sure. Could be
I'll tell,
something like that.
I'll tell you what I did. So you can tell
Mm.
me, because I got broken out of the process and I came back into the process. So I'll just kind of
Right.
tell you what I did is
Yep.
You said, who am I being? Who is,
Mm.
who am I being in this manifestation? And I got the sensation and the feeling and the word of that being. Like if I was to describe that being, I had a word,
Mm-hmm.
like a sentence
Mm.
actually, mostly. And
Yeah.
so that was an identity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took the energy of that being, that person, and
Mm-hmm.
made it into fairy dust, and then started spreading that fairy dust from the single cell to the dual cell, and then kind of growing up
Mm.
as a child. And it's almost like sprinkling the identity onto that kid, and then that
Nice.
teenager, and then whatever, and then here, and then to the experience itself, sprinkling that identity as that person who is in
Right.
that manifestation.
Mm.
And then when you said to kind of go higher a bit,
Mm.
I again zoomed out, so the experience was below me and I was kind of floating
Mm.
above it. And it became
Nice.
more of a solidification of the identity of that person who was
Nice.
in that experience. Yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful. And again, that's why I love doing this work, because you get to choose the reality that you're creating, right? Okay, go ahead, Shruti. I can hear you, so you can
Psychic
unmute.
communication.
It literally. So you can unmute and
So
yeah, go ahead.
basically, for me, I couldn't see myself at all. I could sense the energy and I
Yes.
could see a white light. and
Mm.
I could see that beam spreading
Yes.
all across, and I could
Yes.
feel the sensation of that white light. I could feel the warmth.
Yes.
I couldn't feel myself there, but I
Mm.
was so much into the process. After a point in time, I didn't want to open my eye. I was like, I'm
Right.
enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was for
Awesome.
me.
And thank you for saying that, because this, what you shared right now, without realizing it, this is something that plagued me for decades. And
Mm.
a lot of people, I'm sure you've come across, who say, I can't visualize.
Yeah, yeah.
So then is it working? How do I do it? What you said is exactly the hack, if you want to call it that. That's the key, which
Mhm.
is even, and like I said, for years I couldn't understand that, right? I mean, I had studied like literally all over the world from the best of the best, but this lock didn't unlock itself. I couldn't
Yeah.
understand what was going on until I realized, in one of the classes somebody mentioned this, that um, it's the sensation
Mm-hmm.
which means you're there.
Mm.
You just can't see yourself yet, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we think, okay, if I can't see that image of me as a success, that means it's not working.
Yeah.
But the fact is that you're in a place and you're feeling it. Sometimes it's just a sensation, like
Yeah.
beams of light. That means it's you. It's not, you're not seeing somebody else being the light. You're
Yeah.
feeling the light. That is the hack, right? So sometimes it's the sensation
Mm-hmm.
rather than the vision.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, and for me especially, it's the sound. It's like when Kartika was talking about a little while back, when she zoomed out, she heard conversations,
Yeah.
right? That also means if you can hear conversations, that means you're there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That means it's actually happening.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so when you let it, and the last part is, of course, where you just let it go,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we'll come to that before we wrap for today. But thank you so much for just saying it literally in the moment. That was like beautifully said, right? And this is just the beginning, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so for me also, it was very much similar to what Shruti shared.
Mm,
I did not have the vision. I couldn't see something, but
mm,
I was very much deep into the feeling, the warmth and the rays wrapping me around, very much similar. And I was extremely into it. I had no, my mind was numb, like it shut down. So
right.
I was just feeling it,
That's right.
and I didn't want to come out of it.
Yeah,
I wanted to be there. So
right.
that is my experience.
Amazing, amazing. Right? It's like sometimes when you hear people talking about shunya, as in like that
Mm-hmm.
oneness, that you're in such presence that you know that you don't know, and you don't know where you are,
Yeah.
but you're there and you don't want to come back.
Yeah,
Right? Like this is such a beautiful way of describing it, because that's it. And so like any practice, like anything that we want to master as well, the more you practice, the more one you become with it. And then there's less of this, and then there's less of this, and then there's less of this, and there's more of this, and more of this, and
yeah,
more of this. And then it just
yeah,
like it just opens, and then it's like once that portal is open, right? There's nothing to do,
yeah.
right? So thank you all for just reminding me of why I do what I do. So it's been an absolute pleasure, absolute joy, and truly a gift to be able to. Because here's the beautiful part, right? Especially for those of you who are watching, and if you've reached this point, then you know you're with us, you're one with us. Because I didn't need to know what you're working on, but there's this something that connects us, which is
Yeah.
beyond any of our sort of conscious understanding, right? And this is where miracles happen. This is where the magic happens. So uh, thank you for trusting yourself. Thank you for trusting the process. And I will now switch it back and hand it back to you, Kartika. Thank you so much for
Do we
giving
have
me the
a letting
space.
go part of the process?
Sure, we could definitely do that, and thank you for mentioning that. So we'll do one final,
Hmm.
like a way of I wouldn't even say tying it together because it's already done.
Yeah.
But this is
Kind of
just
sending it.
another way of like expanding it out into the universe,
Yes.
and it'll all make even more sense as we go. So take a moment, um, whether you're watching this with us in spirit, or for those of you, of course, here on the call, take a moment and just as you close your eyes and connect into the feeling, the energy, the ness that you're in. Could be your name, it could be oneness, it could be heart fullness. And this is where you'll start to recognize that this is not just for each of us independently. It's not just for all of us collectively here, but it's this that goes out into the world. This that goes way out beyond our conscious knowing, beyond our conscious understanding, in a way that loops the corners of the earth through people who we know and don't know, through places that we've been to and haven't yet, and beyond. And you'll know when that feeling comes right back to you as you sense it here and now. And just remember that this is just the beginning. So I'll be quiet for a few moments while you just truly just absorb this. And when you do receive it back, just release it, thanking whoever and whatever you believe in that's your higher power. And when you find yourself slowly drifting back, let yourself be here once again present, knowing that this is just the beginning.
Feel like what I took back from this process was this word, that this sentence that came out of the previous layer of this thing. And that sentence has such energy that it kind of reverberated
Wow.
across the world. And you said, folding from every corner of the world and then coming back to me. And
Yeah.
through people who I've met, not met, through places I've been to or not been to, reverberating. It's almost like, flipping, like, like a crazy ball going, and then coming back to me.
Yeah.
When it came back to me, I just kind of, moved it all around. So it like showers over the world.
That's right.
And I thanked the universe for making me this person, is what came up for me. It
Yes.
wasn't even this, okay, thank you for the
Beautiful.
experience. It became, thank you for making me this person. And now I
That's
think
right.
that for the manifestation, I've got like the foundation block, a vibrational foundation block. So
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah, that acknowledging, it's so crazy, right? As time progresses, we tend to acknowledge ourselves less and less. But what you did is beautiful, because this is where you're saying, yes, I do matter, and what I receive, and I acknowledge me for being that person that's receiving it. Very, very powerful. Nice.
Is it my turn?
Sure.
I don't know. I felt like you said something, energies that we can see and people or spirits that we cannot see, they're all here. And, finally bless or maybe convey them. That really stuck with me.
Wow.
And I felt somewhere within me, there's a lot of people, guiding angels around me, blessing me and, maybe asking me to like let go of the pressure and enjoy the process.
Wow.
That's something for me. And I don't know, something just kept hitting back. It's like I've always been a girl who took the pressure, who has always been there working hard. But I could hear the sound that it's okay, you give me the child again, it's
That's
okay.
right.
Go have
That's
fun.
right.
Go have fun. We're there for
Yeah.
you.
Because you are that.
Yeah.
Shruti, you are that. Right? That's like, it's so powerful, like acknowledging like this,
Yeah.
that you are the child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so emotional right now.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah. It's literally like, it's literally a cross.
What's interesting is that essentially on paper, there's like 3 processes. We could have done that in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But the going inside the experience of these 3, the dimensional experience of these 3, created that like a depth, deepen the dimension inside of us than just the
Yeah.
external like 3
Exactly.
activities to do on paper. Yeah.
That's right. And I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's this that makes it happen. So there are no accidents.
Yeah.
I'm curious for Yasmin's experience.
Yeah, so mine is what I'm currently experiencing. My mind is not at all working. So there is nothing, I'm not able to,
Yeah.
follow all those instructions. But I'm into the feeling.
Yes.
So what I felt is like when we accomplish something and we feel very relaxed and we no more think about it and we are already there. So that kind of feeling I'm having.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And
can relax. Like I can
exactly.
relax.
Exactly.
No more of thinking and
Very
working
similar
and
to Shruti's also. Like
Right.
just let go of the pressure and just enjoy.
yeah.
And
Just like Shruti, I too have had a lot of pressure in my life, and my mind has been very, very active for so many years.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like the mind has settled a lot now, and with this particular session that we are having, I'm experiencing it, that settling, calm,
No,
relax.
just to, sorry to cut you off, but to everyone watching this recording, you should connect with Rahul and have these experiences, because something happens. And every time I sit with Rahul for like a session, at the end I tell him exactly what Yasmin said. Like My mind is not working. He puts me in the state of pure quiet, pure shunya. I can't even think of the next moments, the future. I'm just here, but I'm here in this total dead silence, quiet. Like even
Mm.
my ears, the molecules buzzing in my ears are silent. Like that's how quiet I get in my
Wow.
head. I would like, Rahul, you have free sessions. Um,
Yes.
and we'll put the link to that or whatever's the information that you guys
It's called
need,
the Hypnosis experience. So
the experience. And it happens on the one on the weekend as well, right?
it's on Monday and Friday between 6 and 7.
Yes, Indian
And on
Standard Time.
Saturday, of course, Indian Standard Time.
Okay.
And on Saturday between 5 and 6 Indian Standard Time.
Perfect. So you guys can go check it out to have these experiences because it's like you're guiding. But the thing about you is when you're sharing something, it is so vague that in our experience, we end up having our own version of what you said. And then when we come
That's
to
the
share it,
design.
it's like we all psychically in like this dimension together.
That's right.
And we were having that experience. But I think you're like consciously choosing to say things in a way that makes our experience super subjective to how we would interpret what you're saying.
Also,
I'll just add. Go
I
ahead.
would like to add your voice is very calming and
Oh,
soothing.
yes,
Yeah.
that's one.
It's we've all been given gifts. We've all been
Yeah.
given blessings. And the beautiful part is today, the way the world is, uh, we can choose to share them
Hmm.
and share them in a way where we no longer can control. We no longer need to control how
Agree.
it reaches people. That's that's
Hmm.
truly like living in the land of abundance,
Yeah.
right? So,
Super. Is that a good
thank
ending
you.
point for today,
Yeah,
Rahul?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let me just appreciate Rahul and I'll be very curious for those who are watching this on the
Mm,
recording on YouTube, what was your experience like? Maybe you can share it. Maybe Rahul, you can read through some of those experiences and see,
yeah,
were you able to? So now, like the tester, okay, I'm coming from a coach's mind, so please, I apologize in advance.
please.
But as a coach, I always test to see if the vibrational
Yeah.
alignment has happened or not by how you feel. So now when you think of that desire, what happens inside the body is the tester. So sorry to cut off, I mean to add into your process, but Shruti and Yasmin, now when you think of the desire, what is the predominant emotion that comes up for you?
I feel really relaxed. I don't know why. I feel like it's no longer in my own hand to make it possible. I have surrendered and it will happen for me.
Hmm. So you can be a child and enjoy the process.
Yeah, be a child, enjoy the process, and I know it will happen. Like I have that assurance within me now.
Lovely. And Yasmin, what's your predominant emotion when you think of this desire now?
So mine is something like when, for example, like tomorrow I'm going for a vacation. So if that night before I have a feeling, the excitement,
Like that
Ah,
excitement.
that kind of,
amazing.
that is my predominant emotion.
The
And like how Shruti said, the relaxation, that is the base. And above that is this emotion of
Mm.
that excitement. Like tomorrow when you travel somewhere,
Yeah,
that kind of,
that you're looking
excitement.
forward. That's
Yes.
awesome. Thinking of for me, when I think of this desire, it's more of the identity that shows up of that's just who you are. That's just what you're here
Mm.
to do. That's just normal. That's what's going to happen. And I'm so super excited for it because my desires obviously include the people of the world because I'm the masses teaching to the big crowds. And so for me, it's like it affects everybody, people from different corners of the world, different energies, all synergetically coming together in this mass experience of true transformation. So for me, it's like I think of that and I'm just in excitement because I just know how absolutely incredible it's going to be. So that knowing of and excitement is my predominant emotion, I think.
Nice. Nice.
So super. So guys who are watching, please type in the comments now when you think of that desire. What is your predominant emotion that comes up? That would kind of be the little coaching solidification to see what shift has actually occurred in your vibration towards that desire. Super. Any final thing you want to
Nice.
share before we leave for the day, Rahul?
I have actually been uh, doing a daily pod for now closer to 2 years. So if you like the way I speak or what I say, if it's connected with you, since I do have a YouTube channel, uh, definitely do go to my channel, subscribe, share, and like.
And if they want to have a session with you, they can come for the eye hypnosis
Exactly.
experience.
So the link will also be there for the eye
Perfect.
hypnosis experience.
Perfect.
So please do
Okay.
click that
Super. And we'll
and
have a
sit
link
tight.
just for us Synchro Shakti people. Okay. Special. Okay.
Yes, that is special link.
Yes, special link. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Shruti.
So
Thank you,
much.
Yasmin. Thank you, Dolly. I think Dolly is also in the call. Thank you to myself for coming together as this group of people who are sharing something. Like we can't put it in words what happened, but some transmission has happened, and hopefully, if you felt it, it may not make sense to you, but you'll feel it. Like something is there that's happened. Let me know in the comments what your experience was. Thank you guys. And I think this is a good ending point for today. Okay,
Thank you
check
so
out
much.
Rahul's stuff in the description for more experiences that cannot be put in words. Okay. Thank you
Aptly
guys.
said. Aptly said.
Yes. All right, I'm stopping the recording. Thank you guys. Please put in the comments what you thought.